Welcome to the Great Lakes Fishing Podcast. We are in Manistee, Michigan right now, and we're sitting right off of River Street down in the marina, and we're talking to a guy that I've never met before until today, but just talking to you for 10 minutes before we started this, I'm going to call him a legend. It's Mark Chmura. Mark from Pier Pressure Charters in Manistee, and just really appreciate you giving us a few minutes here of your time just to chat a little bit. Tell people at home that are listening just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I've been chartering for 35 years, and before I get going too much here, I just want to let the world know about a great fisherman that we lost this weekend, and his name is Willis, and he's from Grand Haven. And if you didn't know Willis, you haven't been fishing long. And he was captain above captains. He taught many a people, and my heart goes out to his family and to all the friends and all the charter captains that'll be seeing this. They're pretty shook up about him, and for good reason. And I said this, and I mean this. I would go to, as a younger guy, I mean, he was about my age, but he's probably started when he was a kid, and I started chartering at, probably 28 or whatever. And I would go to the Port of Ludington, the biggest tournament that there is, and you would see all these boats coming in, Best Chance, and here comes Thunder Duck. And when you seen that boat, you knew you were in for a challenge, because this guy would once in a while just run 3 rods in a tournament, in a 9-rod tournament, and he'd put 3 down, and he'd come in and he'd beat you, and it's like, so he taught a lot of people, and there's a lot of boats that are on the water right now that are winning tournaments and that have great knowledge because of Willis. So Willis will miss him big time.
Yeah, I didn't know Willis, but I definitely have seen the tributes over the last couple of days online, and people are really talking about him.
He was a quiet guy. He did all his talking in the back of the boat,
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I've been doing this for 35 years, and God's been good to me. In the beginning, I'd fish a tournament and end up in 15th, 17th place and go, man, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Then I learned a little more, and I'm the kind of guy that hit his head against the wall, and I don't give up too easy. So that's good in one way and really bad in another way. Mm-hmm. But I learned different things, and you know what? Fish Hawk has been with me all the way through it. As I was saying earlier to you, Big John Downrigger Company had a Fish Hawk in their name. It was called Big John, and the only thing difference was the plugs on the back of it. They were reversed from a Fish Hawk, but they had Big John and Fish Hawk had some deal together. But I've been using them every day, 35 years out in this lake. So, and they've never did me wrong. And this weekend would be my 56th win in the tournaments, and that is like, and every morning I get up for a tournament, and it's like the first tournament, man. I'm nervous. What am I going to do? And and the biggest thing that I say about it all is, you have to be humble, because when you're on the top, it feels good. When you're on the bottom, it feels bad, and you have to congratulate those people that beat you. And then it's just part of being a human being. God give you a good day, and then if it's not your day, you go and congratulate the people that it is, and then you create this fishing community. And I've never went out there and tried to beat anybody. I've went out there and tried to beat myself. I tried to beat the fish. I tried to understand them more. I tried back when we didn't have the internet. We had to deal with currents and water temps and stuff all on our own. So many days I didn't make my decision up until I entered the mouth of the harbor, which way to go and what to do, and I kind of figured all of that out. And everybody has their certain ways to figure things out, but it's been great. It's been a great ride. I went through a little deal with cancer, and I ended up getting 4th-stage prostate cancer, and I know there ain't no 5th stage, so it's pretty bad. But right now, the Lord's been with me. He's helped guide me. He's taken me to this new place that I'm at, and I don't take any medication. You got anything? No, I don't take no medication, and I'm getting my strength back, and been bringing some big fish in, right, Lenny? Yeah, so everything's going good on there. And then while going through the camps, I make rod holders and anchor winches. I've been making anchor winches since 1991, and a ton of the riverboats have them on it, and it's what I do. And then the rod holders, and my whole life is based around fishing, and I'm so blessed. You know, I wake up in the morning, I come out, and I look out the kitchen, out the window, and I'm on a lake, and I have my coffee, and it's just, I'm so blessed. So
yeah, that's awesome that a lot of people are blessed and don't know it, and to know it is really, really important. And
yeah, it's so great to know it before you don't know it. You know what I mean? Because time is a way of flying by. You know, I had my wife and my sister. I put them through torture in some of the women tournaments in the early days, and they're getting to a point where they can't do it like they used to do it. So I have a new team with these young girls on it, and boy, did we have fun. And I just wish my wife was able to be, you know, but time is a way of changing things. And so we roll with what we got, and we do what we got, and we enjoy the creation God give us. And my biggest thing is, this year is pretty tough on everybody. It was so competitive that people, their morals and everything kind of went a little bit down the tubes, where they, where it became like really important to win. And when it gets to that point, it takes the fun away. It just, we don't need that. Competition is good for good competition, and you learn from competition. You know, nobody wants to be on the bottom of the pile, but you learn from it. And I learn every day still out there. You know, when you think you know it all, you don't know nothing. So you just keep learning and put things in your memory bank, and when times are tough, you can go back to something that you had in your memory bank, and it sometimes works really good.
So you're a tournament angler. You do that a lot, but you're also a charter captain. What do you get from the tournament angling that you can bring to the table as a charter captain?
I would put it the other way around.
Okay.
I would put it as a charter. What you do is you have to remember that you know, we have a resort and I have my chartering company, but a lot of times you take a crew of people out that maybe only have a few days off for all year, and they're going to go fishing with you. And so I never tried to overbook myself where I would get to the point where I would say, get on the boat. No, you get them on the boat, and you have a great time with them, and in return they can pick that up. I always tell everybody, if it's really rough out, it's cold out, you ain't got no food, you're seasick, you're going to have a miserable time. If it's flat out, you have food and it's warm, and you can take my corny jokes, you're going to have a great time. You know, at least I think you're going to. So, you know, and then after you get used to taking families out, and so many people out, and then you challenge yourself, you find that some of your customers want to go on these adventures with you as far as being in tournaments. Like right now when we fish on Lenny's boat here, he's running trips for and where other guys are just 4 charter captains and don't get in their way, and I'm running these 2 routes. It's like, we kind of enjoy it. I'm not going to mention no names, but a guy really goofed up one of the customers yesterday, and we had 3 fish on, and he kind of ran his, it wasn't pretty, but we didn't swear. It was good. we got through it, and first time you swear, it kind of wrecks the day, you know. So biggest thing is just to be happy, and like I said, after you take so many charters out for your life, that the tournaments is just it's a bonus, you know. And the other big bonus is, I remember in 2006 where I fished every tournament all the way around the Great Lakes. And it was 17 events in 17 weeks. So every week I was at a different port. And I'll never forget that. It was great. Wisconsin was great, up in Bay Harbor all the way down to Michigan City. And the people were good, the restaurants were good, and the camaraderie, that was good too. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah.
So you've been doing this for a long time. You seem like you're experienced in life. You've done all these things. You take in these experiences as a charter captain, as a tournament angler. How did you bring those things that you learned to your cancer battle? Like, I got to think that all the lessons you learned through life.
You know, in order to be a charter captain, most people say that you couldn't get along with reality. You know, you couldn't hold. I had great jobs. I did body work. I did the Ferraris in Detroit for 4 years. That was my whole line. I took smashed Ferraris and redid them, painted them and everything. I did that. Then I installed newspaper presses around the country. my biggest job was I was the head director of New York Newsday, and it was a gigantic plant, but I lived in a suitcase, and what I was doing is at night the guys would go drink and I would tie fishing rods, or I would make downriggers, or I would do, and finally my dad bought a resort up here, and I moved up here. I bought a drift boat, started taking some of the customers out, and I wasn't going back to the big cities. This was my home. And one thing I can say about Manistee, Ludington, Frankfurt area here, I'm a native, but I'm not a native. I moved here for the fish. This place is unbelievable. We are so spoiled. I don't know so much that, but the way the internet is now, the respect for a king salmon isn't like it used to be, because everybody's just flooding it, and they're showing their best day catch that they've had to try to get business, and people are looking at it. And if they want to book a charter right now and they come out here and they think that they're going to get 20 fish and they only get 10, they're not going to be happy. So that's one thing I'm not real, as the changing of time goes, but we're losing a little bit of respect for our fishery. And we just need to hold back on that a little bit and respect, but we do have a heck of a fishery. And I hear stories of out west that they have big fish and everything, but the numbers aren't near as close, and for me, it's been my whole life for 35 years. So I'm fortunate. We have a resort. We have 7 cabins on Bear Lake. I have fished the river for 35 years. I've got 3 permits for the river. Got guides running under me, and I've been really, if you want to know the truth, I've been so spoiled that it's when you love what you do. And the hardest part of my day is waking up and getting to the boat ramp, or waking up and getting to the boat. Once I'm at the boat, once I'm on the water, half the day's over. Then it's all fun, And people don't see all the stuff you have to do behind the scenes, in the winter or whatever, you're tying spawn. And like right now, you bring this boat in, man, you got all these rods that are all messed up. I have 40 rods in my little boat, and this boat has the same thing in it. And in order to make your people happy and to have good tournament turnouts, you have to go through all your tackle continuously, and you're putting in as much time on the boat as you are in the water. If you want to be good at it, you got to take care of your stuff, and that's gigantic. So.
Well, Mark, I really appreciate you giving us some time here and what you do. I could talk to you for hours, and I definitely want to have you on again, but we're going to wrap up here today. Is there anything that you wanted to say real quick before we kind of end it?
Yeah, this is the biggest thing. Seek the Lord, and He'll lead you. He did for me, and we really didn't win this tournament on our acclimate, on our own stuff. We skated by. We just made it by. And I'm saying the Lord opened the door for us for this one. This one, He handed it to us. We can work as hard as we want, but these fish are down deep, they're down shallow, they're wherever they're at, and it's tough. So I give all the credit to God. He saved me. He took me from my cancer. He took me from down in the dumps, brought me up, and I got another win. Stick with them. You can win too. You can be a winner too. So God's good.
If people want to find out more about you or get in touch with you to either book a trip or see your resort, how do they do that?
Well, I don't know if I want any more people. No.
All right, well, then don't do it.
No. Just you can call me. 360 Marines, my other company. So
okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been great talking with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
God bless
Mark
you.
Chmura.